Hello again. Well, just finished reading a very interesting article on WorldNet Daily. I will attach the link. You won't have to look for it. The title, Shrink Questions Sanity of Bergdahl and Obama. And this shrink is Dr. Gina Loudon, L-O-U-D-O-N. Now, here's what she said. Earlier this week, she told Lou Dobbs on Fox Business News, Lou Dobbs Tonight, that Bergdahl's anti-American rhetoric doesn't suggest someone suffering from torture or even quote-unquote Stockholm Syndrome, but rather the mind of a man whose thinking has been twisted long before his capture by the Taliban. You think maybe Bob, you know, the guy that appeared at the White House in the Rose Garden with that crazy beard, looked like an imam, huh? And the hair and the ponytail, you think maybe his dad screwed him up? I'm inclined to think so. Anyway, she goes on to say, this isn't your typical prisoner of war situation. This man obviously had some serious, real hostility toward the American government and even the American military before he ever left. He was certainly at best insensitive to the others in his unit, knowing that they may have to risk their lives to come for him, knowing that he was deserting them and knowing that their families could be highly impacted by this very irrelevant decision. At worst, perhaps this guy really suffers from a serious case of narcissism, or even worse than that, somebody who's completely self-absorbed. You think maybe like Obama? And was thinking only about his own opinions when he made the decision to walk away that fateful day. Now, she goes on to say, Lou, to be honest with you, I don't think these anti-American feelings developed once Bergdahl was already in captivity. It sounds to me like he's been raised with an anti-colonialist attitude. And perhaps that's the reason why psychologically this president could so well identify with him. Huh? See, that's how Obama was raised too. Hate America! Hate America! Now, the thing here is that she's also very concerned about the president. She says, I am very, very concerned about the mental stability of this president. She's talking about Obama at this point. Some of his behavior seems irrational to me. It seems beyond that of just a typical narcissistic, arrogant sort of, I'm a leader of a big country and I feel tyrannical at the moment kind of attitude. She says, it really seems to me like this president is demonstrating behavior that is not only anti-American, but irrational and erratic, and perhaps not exactly what we might want to deem sane. She's talking about the president. She thinks he's nuts. I've said that from the get-go. This guy is nuts. And Bergdahl was raised by his father who screwed him up. And whoever handled Obama, because he never had a father, whoever handled him, like Frankie, he was the sperm donor, I think, Frank Davis Marshall. He screwed up Obama, along with Bill Ayers' papa. Obama needs to lay down on the sofa. Yeah, he's definitely nuts. She goes on to say, Obama and his aides have lost their minds, said former Representative Carolyn Allen West in an email for the Allen West Guardian Fund. One of his aides was quoted as saying the administration believed it had won another kill bin Laden moment that would earn them praise, West said. Praise? Even Senator John McCain, a prisoner of war in Vietnam, called the released terrorist the hardest and toughest of all and wanted war criminals. You know, McCain's another thing too, but if you've watched my videos, I've only made about 70 videos on McCain. He also needs to be tried for his participation in his anti-American movies that he made. Back then, they didn't have videos, so he made 8mm anti-propaganda videos against the United States. Anyway, bottom line is you want to take a look at this article because it's most revealing, and I think you're going to find it worth your investment of time. And again, this psychiatrist nailed Obama. She thinks he's as crazy as Bergdahl is. And guess what? So do I.